I'm Juan Francisco, and I'm a psychic medium. I'm here with you to explore your intuition, the supernatural, and self empowerment. This is Third Eyesight. Stella Boheme is the Queen of Glam Tarot. She's been reading tarot for over 30 years, guiding countless clients toward clarity, transformation, and empowerment. With a foundation in sacred tarot practice and a flair for dramatic, mystical storytelling, Stella blends theatricality with transformation. Whether she's reading your cards, designing a Glam Legacy Spread, or curating a spell jar, every moment is infused with intention, artistry, and a wink of glam. Beyond readings, Stella is a performer, teacher, and ritualist. Whether you're curious about tarot, looking to transform your life, or simply craving a little enchantment, Stella invites you to join her on this journey. We're chatting with Stella Boheme today on Third Eyesight. I'm here with Stella Boheme, aka the Queen of Glam Tarot. Stella, thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you, Juan. I'm glad to be here. I'm super excited. You said yes when I reached out to you, so thank you for having me.
Yes, well, you've been following me for a while, and I've seen your content, and you are just so vibrant. And I was excited to have you on, especially because of news of your recently released book, which we'll get into. Yes, which is, can you say the name of the book, please?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's backwards right now, but it's Read Like a Queen, Real Life Insights to Slay Your Tarot Practice.
Yes, we're definitely going to get
Yeah,
into that, and congrats on the new book.
thank you.
So share with us, with listeners, where are you based, and tell us more about your work and what you do.
Well, I'm based in Central Florida. I gave myself the moniker of Central Florida's tarot diva, so based in Orlando, Florida. And yeah, I don't quite know how to describe what I do. It's been just a wild 5 years of learning how to combine the art of tarot with the art of drag, and what ended up happening is creating this experience of I offered tarot readings, tarot coaching, tarot ritual, all with a glamorous twist. So you're going to get the tea and you're going to get the transformation all at the same time.
I love it. I love the combo. And what was your introduction to tarot? What was that first experience like?
Oh well, way way back in the day. Well, I mean it was only about 11 years ago because I'm 25 years old. But
It looking
no,
awesome.
no, I thank you, thank the Lord, thank the Lord for spackle and covering all the baggage here. No, my introduction to tarot when I was 14. My family used to travel a lot from about April to the end of July, just for my dad's business, and a lot of those travels took us south, so Southern California, New Mexico, Arizona, places like that. And when I was 14, we were in this beautiful, just beautiful little town in New Mexico that had like the plaza in the very middle and the gorgeous, gorgeous buildings built around this plaza. And as I was walking around, I just happened to come across a new age shop. And when I walked in, I was enamored with it. I loved it. I felt welcomed. I felt like this was a space I was meant to be in and a space I was meant to thrive in. Ended up buying myself the little, excuse me, buying myself the little pocket-sized version of the Rider-Waite Tarot, and kept it with me in middle school at the time. Promptly got in trouble because there was a naked person on it. So, oops, sorry. It was funny because the world has that naked dancer on it, and one of the teachers saw it, and I got in trouble for it. So, whoopsie.
Really?
But
Wow. Okay. It's so artistic though, but anyways,
yeah,
another
I mean, but also too, it was the '90s. It was the '90s.
yeah.
We were, anyways. But yeah, that was the start of it all. And from there, it just continued to blossom. It just continued to grow. And the cards became like I would pick them up, I would put them down, I'd pick them up, and I would put them down. So that we've had a really solid on again, off again relationship for the last 30 years.
So this was at age 14. That was your intro in that
14,
new age shop.
yeah.
I mean, I remember my first time stepping into a new age shop, and like my eyes were just like, It's like a jewel box. You get
Exactly,
the crystals and the
exactly.
cards. Now, I have a quick question about the pocket-sized tarot because I've seen those in some shops. Have
Mhm.
you actually used them and read with them? Because they're so tiny.
I have before. So there are two travel size decks that I sometimes use. One is the pocket sized Morgan Greer, that I thought I was getting the full size deck, but when they came, they were small. I'm like, these are actually quite nice. And then the other one is the Everyday Tarot by Bridget Esselmont.
Mhm.
Again, it's a smaller deck, and sometimes I don't use them often. Sometimes it is really just nice to have the little cards in my hand, especially if I'm recording content because my camera can't always, or my table can't always hold a whole like 16 card tableau. So if I'm teaching or if I'm doing a reading and I just happen to be like traveling someplace or have a small space, I'll bring them out because it's easier for me to fit them on my workspace.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. And
Yeah.
when you started learning how to read tarot, was this something that was self-taught? You did your own research? Did you work with somebody?
A lot of it was self-taught. It was a combination of self-taught and research. In fact, I actually wrote about this in my book, that when my introduction to tarot, there wasn't a lot out there at the time because it
Mm.
was it was the 90s. The tarot movement was kind of beginning to get a little bit more visible, and because my parents are very staunch Christians, I would go to the New Age section. I would read as much as I could, put the book back, and then I would go someplace else for fear of being
Mm.
caught. So it was, for the first little bit, I was trying to read everything I could. I read the little white books backwards and forwards. What books there were available, I would read them as quickly as I could, retain some information. It wasn't really until about college age, so my early 20s, that I finally got comfortable enough to just trust my intuition and trust that, a book might say that this card means this specific thing, but in the context of the reading and the person in front of me, I'm getting this impression. And once I found out I was actually pretty accurate, I began to start trusting my intuition more. I still read, but I still read books on it because I never quite know what little nugget I'll get from the books. But a lot of it was just me trusting my intuition and me trusting, okay, I know enough. Let the cards talk to me. The cards will tell me what they need me to know.
I also consider that really a really important approach. I always describe the cards as it's a language we learn, and just like with any language, we have the vocabulary, and we could manipulate, use that vocabulary to help express ourselves in a way that we prefer. Now, with
Yeah.
tarot cards, it's a language that we learn, and the words, quote unquote, will look different
Mhm.
reading to reading. The language will look different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And what I love too is that, like, the tarot cards, it'll also depend on the context. And context is so important when you're doing a reading because many readings that I've done down here in Florida, I'll have somebody say, well, what if I get the same cards? And I'm like, you're a different person. Your situation, your life is different. If you get the same cards, it's still going to have a different meaning because you are a different person. And that is when I learned that context it has such a big influence on the content. Like learning that context piece of reading made reading the content of the cards so much easier.
totally. Now, before we go into your book, I want to ask a fun question. Which is your favorite tarot card?
Oh, favorite tarot card. Oh gosh. I thought you were going to say tarot deck. I was fully expecting
Oh,
that.
we can do that too. I want to hear that one too. Good idea.
So my favorite tarot deck is whatever I happen to be using in the moment. Because I'm not going to say how many. Let's just say I'm an avid collector.
Got it.
So recently, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, recently I have gone back to the basics. I've started using the Radiant Weight tarot deck, which has been my favorite so far. Well, my favorite of the month, my flavor of the month, I guess. My favorite card, though, it's really, oh gosh,
I
that's a
know.
difficult one to choose because it's like
I
there's so
know.
many wonderful ones to choose from. Um, But I think given how things are beginning to come into fruition around me, I'm going to cheat and say too, because I tell people I'm actually in an Empress era right now where it's like
Mm,
things are coming into the world, things are being birthed, but you also get to be patient. And the card that I'm really getting into that has surprised me, that I really am loving right now in diving into is the Hierophant.
it's a beautiful
And
card.
I think it's just because I'm really into like deconstructing, and the Hierophant used to give me the ick. So now that I'm getting comfortable with it, and now that I'm like, okay, I'm in a place where I can come face to face with the Hierophant card and deconstruct all of my judgments around it.
And which would you say is the card? I don't want to say least favorite. Maybe the card in the deck that when it pops up, you're like, oof.
Ooh, let's see. I would say the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of
Okay.
Pentacles, or it's like you're almost there. Keep working. You're almost there. That's the mile 12 of a half marathon. You know, the 25th mile of the marathon, and it's like you're almost
Mm-hmm.
there. Just keep going. Just keep going. You'll find, for me especially, the cards that have to do a lot with patience are just like, okay, I'll be patient, and then I'll pull it again. Well, I was patient last time. Can I? Do I still have to be patient? So a lot of the patience cards are the ones that really test me, test my own patience. I mean, to be glib here, but the patience cards really are the ones that I'm like, okay, just breathe it in, just breathe it in. It'll be okay.
I can relate. And to the listeners, before we hit record, we connected over the fact that we're both Geminis, and we just learned that. So, impatience, right there with you, right there with you. I'm like, let me draw
Patience
another
is not a
card.
Gemini's thing. It is
Mm-mm.
not. We're so used to going so fast that even just having a day off, I'm like, what's a day off? I want to work on things, and
I know.
sitting and doing nothing is difficult for me.
So let's talk about your new book. So you just
Yeah.
released in
Hmm.
the late summer, early fall. Read
Hmm.
like a queen: real life insights to slay your tarot practice. Yes, yes. Show your book.
Yep. Right here.
So
Yes. I
in
have to do
this,
this because it's so look at that.
it's so
It's so
shimmery.
sparkly.
See, that
Yes.
doesn't translate when you look at the cover online, of course, but it's so sparkly. It's a
It
beautiful cover.
is. I love
And
it.
so, what unique insights on tarot should readers expect from Read Like a Queen?
Well, so my goal in teaching tarot is what is going to make it accessible for you. Um, I love the books that have been written out on that, and that have really been written, but somewhat many of them are very philosophical, which is great if you are a philosophical person. And I my goal was to say what is going to be the entry point for you? What is the way that tarot will make sense for you? So if that means journaling, I give every single card has a journal prompt. If that is through storytelling, many of the major arcana, I've had friends and other tarot readers that are good friends of mine give their experiences living through the card. I wrote on two cards. I wrote on going through the tower moment when in Florida drag was illegal and was banned in public spaces for several months, and how that forced me to really redesign and figure out, okay, this happened, what next? And if it's music, I do my best to give you music that's not just like classical or not just new agey, but pop musics, because there's something to be said, like with the Empress. Kate Bush's "This Woman's Work" really speaks into that. And there are activities too. So if somatic and physical movement is your thing, I give ideas on how to embody the energy of the card. If you want to go out and put your feet in the grass to feel the power of the pentacles, or if you want to take a class on pottery or a class on some sort of art because it's something you're passionate about, that's an invitation there. So read like a queen, real life insights to slay your tarot practice offers you many entry points into the tarot, and then also gives. I find that we learn through having fun and we learn through humor, and I like to give my own little humorous and sarcastic insights too, because I mean, you can't be a queen and not have a little tea.
That's
So
right.
humor is also present. It's not just a philosophical. This is the history of the card. There are some pithy remarks and some pithy things that I add in because humor is such a powerful way to learn.
Mm. I have gone through just a couple guidebooks because, like as you were saying way earlier, I'm also of the mindset of learning the tarot, learning the language, and then
Hmm.
going off and doing the thing, seeing what
Yeah.
the cards say to you. And reading a few guidebooks and following some tarot card readers, I have to say that what you just mentioned about exercises or activities to relate to each card, I haven't heard that before. I think that is so neat. So it's very, very interested. So when you approached me, I hadn't yet purchased your book, and I definitely want to. And now I'm really interested in seeing, like, for my favorite cards, which activities tend to relate to those, and maybe I'll learn more why they resonate with me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's great. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and before I formally created the business, the tarot business and the tarot coaching business that I now have, I used to be a life coach, and one of the facilitators that I worked with, her name is Krista Petty. I think it's Krista Petty Raymer now. I have such an admiration for her because her approach to coaching, her approach to transformational, just transforming your life is we experience everything in the world through the body. And if the body can teach you anything, the mind will follow through. Oftentimes, we do tend to think and then let the body follow. Her approach is completely opposite. Let the body lead you and let the brain take a break. Let the brain follow. And that was such an aha moment for me, that somatic coaching, and I mean we're seeing it now with like somatic coaching and ecstatic dance, and we just had EDC here in Orlando, which what are people doing at EDC? They're going and they're dancing. They're celebrating through dance and through music. And I think the Vans Warps tour is happening now. There are people dancing and moshing to that too. So much of what we do in life is so physical. Why not use that as an entry point as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I do find that so unique. So I'm so excited to look more insight into your book. And in your book, in your intro of the book, you mention being in the closet both sexually and
Mhm.
spiritually. And
Yeah.
I'm always very fascinated about the topic of queer identity and spirituality, the
Mhm.
intersections, maybe sometimes the challenges and conflicts that there may be for some folks. So how does your queer identity intersect with your spiritual practice or your spiritual beliefs?
So, growing up, I was very blessed in that I knew two vastly different religions. Of course, I mentioned earlier my family being very Christian and being raised in the Methodist Church. My mom is Japanese, and that side of the family is also very Buddhist. And so, just through life being life and all of that, I had a very I had a moment very early on where I had to reconcile many different things. I had to reconcile Christianity says this, Buddhism says this, and there seems to be a conflict. When I realized that there was really no conflict, it was the Christianity butting up against the Buddhism. And so that led me on a journey to, in a nutshell, abandon the structure of the church, and explore spirituality for myself and explore what it meant to be spiritual in the world. And it led me to, led me to many exploring many different practices from Druidism, Wiccanism, um, uh, a lot of mythology based things, finding what is the golden nugget, what is the thread that ties it all together, and where I've landed now, in that we are just one layer. We're just one physical layer in a very multi-layered existence. The tarot just came naturally because it was just a doorway. It was letters from like my grandparents who both passed away when I was very young, and the spiritual practice just it allowed me to say I am a spiritual being, that goes beyond a structure. It goes beyond a building. It goes beyond a formalized, you know, religion. So and the tarot has been my companion. Like it's gotten to a point where I can ask one of my spiritual deities who are my guardians. I can ask, "Do you want to be my guardian?" I can ask for guidance. I I talk to my ancestors. I talk to my grandparents through the cards too, because why not? They're there. They're willing to talk to me. I just need to be willing to listen.
Mm, that last part, though. Yep. Being willing to listen and remaining open. And this may be a very personal question. You don't have to answer it. We can skip it. But you mentioned that you first stepped into that metaphysical shop at age 14, and that kind of that launched this interest in all that. When was that happening in relation to coming out of the closet as a queer person?
So, at that point in time, I'd known that I was gay. I'd always known that I was different. I know people. I mean, that seems like a cliched thing to say, but I've known that I was different. And at that time, I would have been in middle school or in sixth grade, and that was when the hormones started to kick in, and I realized I am not attracted to the same people that my other male classmates are attracted to. And that was the beginning also of my realization that, okay, I'm attracted to men. I think, the hormones go into overdrive when I see a handsome man. And that I think that was, again, that was really what catalyzed a lot of things. Now, in terms of coming out, I didn't really do that until college. I didn't really do that until I was safely on my own, living my own life, and it seemed like a lot of things kind of led up to being comfortable with saying that. I went to a very good small private college that was very liberal in Idaho. Right, liberal in Idaho seems like a funny thing to say, but
Wow.
it was a very safe place for me. And I was also very blessed in that before I became a drag queen, I was a singer. I was an opera singer and a classical singer. And so I could channel all of the feelings and the emotions into my music and into the creation of my music. So I feel like that expression really made life a lot more palatable, especially as I navigated what it meant to be openly gay, to finally saying, well, now I'm openly gay. Well, now what? And realizing the queer population, we're not always kind to each other, especially when it comes to appearances.
Mm.
And so yeah, I mean, different story for a different time, but uh, everything kind of ran parallel to each other until about 2020, when I finally said, I have this. I have the tarot. I have the tarot in the spiritual practice. I have the desire to make this a business. I have a desire for this to be my career. I have the drag, the LGBTQ side of me. They have run side by side. Why don't we integrate the two? And
Mm.
5 years later, here I am with a book and, other projects coming down the pike.
Yeah. Oh man, I so much truth to what you said, and thank you for speaking that truth to power. And
Mm.
before we go on to my next question, I want to ask you where you are now. You have a book, you've launched a business, you've been doing readings for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
What would Stella now say to that little 14-year-old boy today?
Oh God, she would say, put the lap bar down and hold on. It's going to be an incredible ride. It's going to feel wild. It's going to take you to places that you may not even consider, but trust it, trust the process. And the more you trust yourself, the more you trust your intuition, the more you trust the process, the more glamorous your life is going to become.
Mm.
So, the 14-year old me who had no idea what he was going to get himself into 30 years ago. Um, I would just say the lap bar is coming down. Just hold on and enjoy the thrill and the ride.
Mm. Amen. Amen. Um, well, you just launched your business, right? Did you just
Mm-hmm.
launch it? You created, well, I should say, you formed an LLC officially,
Correct. Yeah,
right?
officially. The idea of tarot and drag as a combination came about in 2020 when I first moved to Florida. So it was October of 2020 that I thought, what would happen if I put these together? And originally, I thought it was just going to be a cute little side hustle that I do every so often just to make some extra money. Um, the more I did it, the more in demand I became. And then it wasn't until it was probably last year, no, actually 2 years ago, when I realized that the book was coming into the world. I realized, this is going to. I not only do I not only do I make enough now to warrant needing the LLC. What I do as a tarot reader and as a tarot coach can it can we can with my clients we can dive into some deep personal things, and in order for me to protect myself, I need to have that structure of the LLC so that if something, heaven forbid, if something were to come back on me, I would have the safeguards put in place. The other wild thing about it too has been that the moment the LLC it came into the world, that's when I felt comfortable stepping back from a few of my gigs, but I also realized having the LLC, a lot of people started to approach me now to do more gigs. So
Mm.
it was almost like the universe, for 4 years, I kept toying with it, kept toying with it, kept toying with it, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for I need, the right money and all of that. And then the universe finally said, "Are you serious about this or not?" And the moment I said yes and formed the LLC, the universe said, "Great, here you go." So it's just it was the next logical. I mean, I say logical manifest, which makes no sense, I'm sure. But
I'm gonna have to think about that phrase. That's an interesting one. I get it.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah, it was the next step that made sense, and
Hmm.
as a result, the universe has said, "Great, I'm giving you the opportunities now."
Yeah, it's incredible how the opportunities are there if we just open ourselves up to them, right? We listen to
Exactly.
the universe, and sometimes we are our own worst setback. I know that
Yes,
firsthand.
yes.
So, what are you looking forward to in the year? I mean, we're about to. I'm sorry to say it. We're about to approach 2026. But what are you looking forward to in
Oh,
2026 in your business?
I'm looking forward to. Well, first off, I'm looking forward to getting myself out there. Much more just in the cyberspace. I've made it a point to now say, let me amp up my output of content, let me amp up my presence. I'm looking forward to traveling to events to do readings to promote my book. I've got several book signings lining up for Central Florida and eventually expand out from there. And of course, bringing my books with me, selling more books, and all of that. But I'm also looking forward to a lot of the stuff I'm creating behind the scenes. So, how about we make this an exclusive? I am creating a lot of content that I will be then putting out into the world on just different tarot topics. Everything from a Tarot 101, how to read tarot, I'm calling it Tarot in 4 Acts, to to utilizing astrology and numerology. So I'm creating a lot of content that I am excited to get out there. And I'm launching a later on in 2026, I'm going to be launching a one-on-one intuitive coaching container, intuitive coaching program where you coach with me for and I haven't quite determined the period of time, but you basically coach with me on where do you want to go, what do you want to achieve, what are the obstacles in your way, and how can we work over them. So utilizing my life coaching with my tarot coaching, and that, and really just making Queen of Glam Tarot LLC a presence again and taking it to the next level.
That is so exciting. I love the sound of the intuitive coaching. Sounds like you have a lot planned.
I
And thank
do,
you for
yes.
sharing some exclusive updates with us here on Third Eyesight. Um, my next question is, uh, could be kind of spicy. Let's see where it goes. What is
I like
one?
spicy.
I like spicy too. What's one misconception or, um, yeah, misconception about tarot that you think people have that if you could dispel it, what would it be?
Oh, um, the big one that I work to dispel with everything I do is that you have to be born psychic, um, and that you have to have you have to have the gift to be able to read tarot, when really all you need is the willingness, the intention, and the imagination. So I like to say tarot is for everybody. It is the tool. Whatever you choose to do with it is yours and yours alone, be it predictive, reflective, creative. So the big thing I wish to dispel is that tarot you have to have a gift to read tarot, when really you just need to have a willingness to learn and an imagination at your disposal.
I 100% agree. I think gatekeeping is quite it seems to be quite traditional in some parts of
Mm.
psychic world, and yeah, I'm of the personal belief that we are all born psychic and none of us are
Hmm.
not born psychic, and that it's accessible. And it's just one of my who's not really a mentor, but she's my mentor by just by default, I guess.
Hmm.
um she always says all you need is the curiosity. The curiosity just
Yes.
leads you. Let that lead you and just be open, remain open.
Yeah,
um
absolutely.
and what would you say to someone who they're just starting on their tarot journey? They find your book, they pick it up, they're going to
Hmm.
have so much to learn through it, but let's say they are a little nervous about, they doubt their ability, they doubt
Hmm.
how far they can go with it, and they picked up your book and they want to start on that journey.
Hmm.
What encouragement would you give them?
First and foremost, you can do it. And I'm very open about this in my book. If my book is not the thing, find another one. Find the one that resonates with you. Of
Hmm.
course, I hope my book is what helps you get into it. But if it's not my book, I have no ego about it. Find their source and the resource that will get you into it. And the big one is allow yourself to be surprised. Allow yourself to be surprised at what you can do. Um, I've had so many readings where I will just get that intuitive ping and I will verbalize it, and people are just like, how on earth did you know that? And
Mm.
one reading I had where, it was spot on, and the woman was just like, I don't know how you could know all that. And I said, honestly, still surprised myself. The moment I stop surprising myself and the moment I'm stop being in awe of the ability and this gift that I've been given is the moment I need to retire from it. So allow yourself to be
Mm.
surprised and allow yourself to be in awe of what you are capable and can do.
Was wonderful. And I'm very happy and relieved to hear I'm not the only psychic who still goes, oh shit, how did that happen? When something really cool happens in a reading. It is, I think there's so much what you're saying about having that sense of wonder. And it's like a childlike wonder about it.
Mhm.
Um, before we close, I want to ask you, like, do you find that whether in clients you've worked with who have explored their psychic abilities or just in your own journey, that at the beginning of the journey, there's so much wonder and it's all feeling really new. And then sometimes there's a little bit of a lull, like it becomes routine
Mhm.
and then it comes back, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
What has been your experience with that?
That has been my experience that, yeah, we get into that rut, especially when we're to a point where you have so many years in the game that you're just like it becomes a routine, it becomes old hat. And I think that's when it's very important to shake yourself out of the rut, do something different with it. For example, going back to my social media presence, I had a fairly firm routine. I would post Sunday or Monday a little 3 card reading. Here's what's coming up for the week ahead. Middle of the week, I would do a check in, normally with like Lenormand or Kipper or some different style of divination or cartomancy to challenge myself. And then the very end, Friday, Saturday, an oracle card reading. What's going to come into what's the reflection for the week? What are we going to look for in the weekend coming up? And it worked for a while. It worked for a while to get me introduced into the world. And now I challenged myself to do a card a day between the 1st of November to Thanksgiving. That's a lot of posting for me. And I'm just like, am I going to be obnoxious by posting, every day, sometimes 2, 3 times a day? But it actually surprised me because other people are joining in on the prompts. They're joining in on the challenge. They're tagging me in it. And I'm like, that it was me getting out of my own way and getting out of my rut of, okay, this is my formula, this is what I've been doing, to a point now where it's like, well, okay, I know that they can handle hearing from me at least once a day. Why not 2, 3 times a day? Let me share parts of myself. An example. I know we're about to wrap this up here, but an example. I learned. Okay, I fully acknowledge I'm an elder millennial, so sometimes technology is foreign to me. I learned how to record my screen on my phone.
Hmm.
Apparently now, I mean, anybody who's been on Instagram knows, like, those bots like, hey, comment this, DM me when you post it 2, 3 times a day. I stopped blocking them because I'm just like, hey, it's engagement. I
Right.
will forgive it. It's engagement. But apparently the new one is about 30 to 35 bot accounts have taken one of my posts, posted it on their Instagram profile, right? And it just happened to be the card a day challenge that I'm doing right now. They took it, posted it verbatim to their account, and they put in the caption, all credit goes to, and they tagged my account. I tried, I'm like, I think this is spam. I think, and Instagram's like, well, this isn't violate any community things. And I'm like, okay,
Oh, because they put the credit goes to you, it's technically
exactly.
safe.
It's safe technically,
Oh,
even though it's very obviously, and the bot accounts that, like, they have like just a little like extra period at the end of it, or an extra and I'm like, okay, that's obnoxious.
yeah. Oh
We'll
man.
we'll we'll roll with it. if they ask me for money, I'm going to say, yeah, you did this of your own volition. But it's just like, it was wild because it was like, get, okay, all right, let's roll with this and see what happens. It is so wild. So I'm
I
like,
mean, on the one hand, and this is less important, but your card of the day challenge is so fun that bots want that these people are copying it. On the other, and then on the second, on the original hand, whatever I'm trying to
mm-hmm,
say, it's annoying. I mean,
right.
I'm
And
just waiting
so,
for someone to create like an AI version of me talking head. Like it's wild what they come up with these days.
oh my gosh, isn't it ever? And it's just kind of like, it's so funny to me because I'm just like, okay, this is obnoxious, and I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to make sure I have all the stuff I need to have to prepare to, you know, protect myself.
Hmm.
And I also take a lot of I take a lot of pride in the fact that the people that do follow me on Instagram know my tone, know what I'm about. Many of them I've met in person, and so they know to be wary about that. So they know to be like,
Right.
"Hey, this isn't you, is it?" And like, they won't fall for it. So,
Right.
but yeah, it was. I was like, on the one hand, obnoxious, and on the other hand, it's very bold, and I can't fault them for being very bold. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I was paying for the blue check mark on Instagram for a while, and then I had some personal things with Meta. So I'm like, you know, I'm not
mm,
gonna pay you anymore because
yeah.
you're annoying me right now with the way your customer service works. Another topic, another day.
Good. Well, I feel like that needs to be kind of like a tarot readers and social media 101. Like I feel like that needs to be just another like compilation book or series that we talk. You know, the it's
Yeah.
like it is so vital for what we do, and at the same time it can open up so many doors to just annoyingness.
Yeah. Yeah, really can. Well, speaking of things that are very not annoying, let's talk about where people can buy your book. The good things and positive things.
Yes, the
Where can
wonderful
people buy?
things.
Yes, where can people buy your book? Let's knock that out first.
Yeah, so my book is available everywhere books are sold. So you can purchase it on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, bookshop.org. You can buy it directly through the publisher, Red Feather Schiffer. So it's redfeathermbs.com. If you go to my website, queenofglamtarot.com, I have a specific point that says buy my book that gives you all of the places to purchase it, or go to your local new age store or bookstore and order it directly from there, especially if it's a local business. I'm love that this can be a catalyst to supporting local businesses. So it is widely available all over the world now, because I know in September it launched and then November is when it was available in the UK. So
Hmm.
wherever books are sold, you can just Google it, read Like a Queen, Real Life Insights to Slay Your Tarot Practice. It will give you the full list of links to purchase.
Amazing. And where can folks find you on the socials?
They can find me just about every single social. I am most active on Instagram and on Facebook. I am slowly easing my way into TikTok.
The whole other
Still work.
animal.
Oh boy, it is a whole beast. But again, in embracing the cringe and just saying, "Cool, if it flies, great. If it doesn't fly, well." All my handles are Queen of Glam Tarot. Of course, also if you want to book a reading with me, you can do it at queenofglamtarot.com on my website. Yeah, just look for Queen of Glam Tarot almost everywhere, anywhere you will find me.
Great. And to listeners, I will have Stella's website URL in the show notes. So you can just click there and find all these things at her website. But Stella, it was such a joy to talk to you. And also, I just got to say, you look so stunning and
Thank you.
you like the glam is glamming. And just thank you so much for giving us your heart, your joy, and congrats on the new book.
Thank you, Juan. Although I have to say, I do have a little bit of a bone to pick with you. I specifically wore my pearls so I could clutch them. I didn't have to clutch my pearls a single moment this entire time. So,
Oh, and usually I'm very spicy, but today was quite I was quite tame, I admit. Maybe we'll have another episode in the future where
yeah.
we should do that. We should have another episode in the future where we talk about really spicy,
Oh, yes,
ooh,
please.
little gossip corner.
I
I
love
love it.
it. I love it. I mean, give me the spice. I love everything spicy. But I appreciate it today. Today, very mindful, very demure. Thank you so much,
Yes.
LeBron James. We love you. But future one, I will make sure to wear the pearls so I can clutch them, okay?
Yes, I will be sure to come with prompts that are way more spicy. So, TBD 2026, we're coming. Thank you, Stella.
Thank you so much, Juan. Great to be here.
Follow the podcast and please leave a review. If you want me to talk about a specific subject on the podcast or you have a question for the podcast, go to juanfranciscospirit.com and go to my contact page and submit that question.